we needed to know how special and how privileged we are to be able to do this type of job. We had to learn, hey man, stop what you're doing. They got to get this done first before you keep on doing what you're doing.
And you got guys in the background, cool with being in the background, but that actually know what they're doing. But they don't want to be a part of the, like, this conflict. I'm cool, I'll just do this. Like,
that is the growth. I mean, think of that though. Think of if conflict is required for growth, how do you do that in a maximum security prison? How come we had razor knives, we had scrap? Maybe I shouldn't even say that. Nobody got stabbed up in here in an argument.
John,
Nobody.
take that out.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to this episode of the Pull Up Podcast. We're here in Housing Unit 2, which, as you can see, was recently painted by the GLA group here, as well as other people helping. And we're going to talk about it. With me are three of the guys who have been here since we started this project last Friday. You can see to my left over here is Bo. He coalesced a crew around him to help get the stuff done. He was accountable to tools, materials, different things. And we're going to talk about how that went. It's JD. You've probably seen this guy in other stuff.
Hello.
You saw him in the Return concert. What else you been in, JD? You've been in the last, you were in the last episode.
I think so. I photobombed Calvin's episode a couple times.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Some back shots. Yeah. Some hero shots.
Yeah.
As they're called. And then Henry led the crew that got the floors done in here. Crazy sitting in here. All this echo and cleaned up. So where do we start? Because I'm tired. So four of us are really tired here. We started, it is Monday night, 6:15.
It's Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday night. It's 6:15. I'm trying to get out of here and go home.
Yeah. Yes.
And we got here Friday morning. I got here Friday morning at 9:00, and we probably didn't even start until afternoon. It was almost 2:00 by the time we got stuff in here.
Maybe 1 or 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically,
and haven't stopped since.
Yeah, we haven't stopped since.
24/7.
4 days, we had a group of 30 incarcerated individuals come together and do what you see behind us. We did record a lot of it, and so as we're having this conversation, we're going to show you the project kind of start to finish. Well, I'm going to ask JD first because he's always the most quiet one and
That's right.
Hard to get going. So what was the opportunity? People in other facilities may be able to appreciate, but I don't think people in the real world will be able to appreciate not only the fact that all of this paint was donated, but that we as a community were able to put it up.
I mean, that was the most impressive part was that we took a lot of guys. We knew it was going to be a big job, but a lot of guys came together that are in the same circles. Like me, Bo, and Henry, we mess with each other, but there's guys that came in and just dove in, and literally from Friday morning till right now, they're still here surviving on naps. They go in, take a nap, come back.
Right back.
Some of the guys aren't even going to live in this dorm, and they know it. Like they're like, but we want to be a part of making our community better, making this place better, be a part of the change.
Right.
Even though,
you're given the opportunity and you rise to the occasion because you understand what the opportunity is. Even if you don't get to live here, like the idea of getting out and being part of making something better, but then being able to put effort into that, use tools and different things like that.
Yeah.
How awesome.
Trust.
Yeah.
With those tools.
Yeah, so we started in here, like we said, Friday afternoon, and what we noticed right away, like you said, was we didn't have a lot of tradespeople here. I think most people see.
What you tell Morris? I got GLA guys. I need painters. You're giving me GLA guys. I need painters, man. That's what we're doing here. But
that was the truth.
Yeah, it was the truth. But that was the leadership moment.
Yeah.
Was and I said that to the group I did this previously in my life for a living, and I always wanted to coalesce a team around what I did. I loved owning a business. I loved being responsible for the well-being of other people. I liked carrying that weight of the responsibility, but money just got in the way all the time.
Yeah.
It was always eventually somebody felt like they were owed something, or somebody felt like, that you owed them something. And that's kind of my professional experience. Because of money, it never became more about anything more than superficial. And so to be able to come here, like for me, when we started talking about doing it, like the opportunity to me was knowing that there are people here doing long sentences who maybe never had the construct of a crew, of a group, of being part of a team that accomplishes something that's difficult, that takes a lot of effort, that takes a lot of thought, takes a lot of humility to know what you don't know. And we kind of saw that
And admit it.
in full circle, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love the learning process of it. Like going through and, okay, we did this, it didn't work. We have to pivot. Okay, JD, what should we do? Henry, what should we do? Sit down, come up with a plan, and redirect on how we do things. That was one of the biggest things that I learned from this. Like, you can't be so inflexible. We can be inflexible in our goal, right? But we can't be inflexible in how we go about our goal.
Get there.
Right.
Because if we do that right, we're going to be stuck. And as you can see, we had to do a lot of pivoting.
Right. But at first there were a lot of chiefs, right? Because we came in
man.
on short notice.
Yeah.
We came in literally like 36 hours after the donation was approved. We had the paint here and we're ready to get started. So we didn't have like a long-term job plan, and we did have a lot of chiefs because there's like a vacuum to be filled, right? You see the guys see 2 pallets of buckets of paint showing up and all of this stuff, and it's like, man, I get to do this.
Everybody wants the sprayer. I want the sprayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, man.
And and everybody's got an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just want to go with their idea, but there's 30 people here.
Yeah.
And there's 30 people here, most of which it's been a long, long time since they've held a tool in a professional manner. And so to go back to what Bo said, you knew that you had to narrow it down, right? And go pick your couple people. I can do this.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how that understanding came about? Like where you found your responsibility?
Day two, when you was in here and I was painting the faceplate, right? And you're like, nah, that ain't how it's done. But you took the 5 to 7 minutes that it took to show me how to properly do it and explain to me how the process go and how the paint go to the wall and roll on the rollers and stuff. You spoke a language that I could understand, right? You watched me do it, right? So once I did it, I'm like, okay, now I do need to go take care of something else, right? So let me take this 5 to 10 minutes with this next guy, teach him how to do it, right? Make sure that he does it right and give him them encouraging words and stuff to make sure that he's able to do it and he feels confident in doing it. So it was a process like you taught me, I teach him, he can teach the next guy. So my efforts and my energy can go to other things that I'm needed more in.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful moment for me because I realized that, okay, I'm taught, I teach the next, he teaches the next, and we continue on like that, and everyone gets better in the process.
Right. So you just described vocation and you described process, putting something into a process and then practicing it, which is what we say in GLA is so important. But in prison, everything is a program. How could this be a program?
Can't.
But GLA is a program.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, you see what I'm saying now?
Right.
Like, how do you, what you just described was giving someone vocation, which gives purpose, which gives hope, which gives dignity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure Nugget that's been in here painting for 4 days, if and when he speaks with his family, he's going to be very, very proud to share his accomplishment over the phone with
You
his
have
family,
no idea,
right?
bro. He went on a visit
covered
with
in
his
paint.
painted clothes. And his grandparents loved it.
Yeah.
Because he came in, because he didn't know they were coming. He was in here working. He's like, I'm just going like this. I'm like, what? Because I would have went insane personally.
Right.
But he was like,
Right.
and they said his grandparents were up there eating it up.
Well, and so people hear me say so much about dignity and identity in prison and what that means. Like, how do you get vocation? How do you get purpose to more people than the one housing unit? How do you make this part of culture change? How do you make what we're sitting in part of culture change?
I think it's interesting that you say that because yesterday I'm a part of another program called VRAC, Visiting Room Activities Committee, and we G out the visiting room. And when we was up there, I noticed that the non-contact booth was pretty nasty, right? So I'm like, we don't have time to do this right now, but we got a bunch of guys around here that don't know work ethic, that don't have pride in nothing they do. So I talked to one of the captains. I'm like, you got all these guys around here say they want a job, they need a job. How about you got one officer, you got 9 booths. Give each one of them a booth. You're responsible for this booth. And you got so much time, you know what I'm saying? Let's clean it. Let's see what you got, you know? And he said he's going to look into it. So I was like, what's the possibility of this happening? And he told me it's not a possibility. It's just when he's going to be able to do it. So little things like that will give guys the opportunity to get out and do things different than sitting in the cell and watching TV, going to play basketball, walking the yard. It's small things. People out there may think it's like, why would I want to go clean up? Well, why do I clean up? Why does JD clean up? Why did Henry spend 10 hours over in ad said cleaning cells that he knew dudes that are not going to appreciate? Because it's the right thing to do, And you can't really tell people the right thing to do, but you can teach them the right thing to
Show
do.
them.
Show them.
And then, I think when you said it, I think about guys around here, right? A lot of guys around here, man, that I done come in contact with, they just want to show, they want us to show that, hey, man, regardless of what you're going through, I appreciate the little bit you got of yourself. Because a lot of times guys don't feel like they worth nothing. And
Because no
when
purpose.
when you can invest some of your life and they see, man, how did you get to the point where you at?
Yeah.
They ask those questions and you have to break that down.
Right.
Explain.
But also they see you in here making this place better.
Right.
How much do we see in prison where people do stuff, but it didn't make in prison better? It isn't because the environment isn't respected.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, what you have to make a environment respectable to have it be respected.
Right.
And that doesn't just mean clean paint. It means people respecting the space that they're in. It's hard to respect a space when it's covered in cheese and grease and dirt and cleaner and stink and funk. It's hard to go in there and care when you drop something on the floor when all the stuff is around you. But when you come into a space like this and you have your coffee or whatever and you spill a couple ounces on the floor, you're just going to turn around and walk away from it. There's probably going to be 13 people that are going to hold you accountable to dropping the coffee on the floor. You are learning in that moment the skill of living. Your community is holding you accountable in that moment instead of people being like, man, that nasty floor, man, I don't care nothing about that floor. Well, you're learning to not care nothing about that, whatever it is in that moment. And so to me, this is a small example. And you just gave another example. Like prisons are little cities. There's a million things that are not respected, not cared for, that could be respected and cared for, that would be part of creating a loving community inside of a prison, right?
Well, that comes with guys feeling that they have a hand in, like they have a responsibility. Like all the guys that worked over here, if someone drags a table across this floor, with the guys that worked here, that been working on this floor, they gonna have something to say. So the guys around here that feel like they don't have no investment in this place, that's how they act how they act. But once they feel like, okay, mama, that booth over there in the visiting room, you know what I'm saying? I cleaned that. I made sure that was clean.
Right.
Them windows is clean because of me. My partner back there behind that window, he don't have to sit in the stinky booth because I did that. Now he feels a sense of worth, like he has something, a purpose. And sometimes that's hard to give everybody, but I think our walk, like as we walk through this institution, people say, that's them guys with them hats, right? But one thing they know about them guys with them hats, when they call us and say, go clean this house or go clean that house or
done.
go do this or go do that, it gets done.
That's right.
And we go do it and we go make sure that it's done right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Bo here. This week's episode is brought to you by Our Daily Bread Ministries. Our Daily Bread Ministries helps people grow closer in their relationship with God, become more like Jesus, and respond to God's Word through the conviction of the Holy Spirit. You can learn more about them and discover resources to help you experience the life-changing wisdom of the Bible every day at odbm.org if you have the internet. And if you are enjoying the Pull Up Podcast, you can find more content like this by following the Our Daily Bread Ministries page right here on the Pando app and everywhere you get your podcasts. Now, back to the show. What is Henry? You said you've been down, 89?
Yep,
Gone since
89.
So you've seen prison ebb and flow, kind of come and go, rise and fall, change on different leadership. When you come in and you see the transformation of the environment and you see the transformation of culture here, how does that track with the way that you've experienced prison over the last 35, 36 years, 38 years?
I mean, when I sit back, man, and reflect on my journey through prison and to see it at this point, it gives me life. It makes me feel like, hey, man, I got an opportunity. Prison is changing, that I might get out of this place. And the way I feel today in 2025, I didn't feel like that 10 to 15 years ago. And I wasn't on board with the prison change. I was strictly to myself. But now, since I done broadened my perspective on life, man, I'm able to get on board with trying to change prison, to trying to show guys the culture, it can change. It's about a mindset.
Right.
And at my age, 58, man, that I'm proud to be an example to the younger guys, because I want to show them guys that what somebody poured in me and seen in me, I want to give to them. Because it was somebody seen something in me that I didn't see that make me get to this point. And I'm thankful for God for having that vision that God pointed out.
And that's what I was thinking when we talk about how this place isn't cared for and you know, things are decrepit. And that's because when we come in, like you guys were saying, we aren't cared for. We're taught that we ain't worth a damn. Mm-hmm. So why would we take care of this environment, this prison? It doesn't mean it's, you know, F this place because that's how you treat me.
Right.
So, but then when you start investing in yourself or investing in somebody, no, you are worth something.
Right.
Start taking pride in yourself. Then you start taking pride in your environment. And it's just, you know, like you said, learning those skills that you're going to want to take out there.
Yeah. I mean, when I was sitting in prison, like part of the reason that I wanted to bring all the gloss coatings in here was like, you could just put flat wall paint up.
Right.
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 And it'd be blue, it'd be copper, it'd be whatever the colors are in here.
Right.
But when you walk in and you see something shiny, you're like, man, that's like clean. That's extra.
Mm-hmm.
That's above and beyond. I'm in a prison. Why is that column shiny when it doesn't have to be? Why is this floor white when it doesn't have to be? It could just be dirty concrete and
Right.
clean it up.
Yeah.
So why is the floor white? You know what I mean? Like, and so why is stuff glossy? Why is this stuff shiny? Like, it stuck out to me when I came to prison. Everything was dirty,
Dull.
nasty, and
Dull.
dull.
Gloomy.
Like, and gloomy. And
Yeah.
it was like, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Light is reflected, you know, off a gloss surface.
Correct.
And so if it's bright and it's clean,
Mhm.
what does that mean for my mood, for how I'm working? Like, the environment of the prison goes along with the violence and the outcomes in prison.
Absolutely.
What I promise you is that people aren't going to bring their violent nature in here and have that fed.
That's right.
Nah.
They're going to have that suppressed and put back down,
That's right.
right?
De-escalate.
Brightness.
But that's like, I feel like that's the vision that most can't see. But I think when you guys are moved in here and you have couches in here and it's like you have something to care about and you have a space that's yours that others don't have, that changes metrics in prison.
Oh, yeah.
that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Right.
We've never seen it.
Right.
35, 30, 29, 28 years. Like,
Right.
we've never seen it. So, yeah, you're gonna
So
care for it.
Henry, you probably didn't have 10,000 hours of experience in floor coatings or as managing crews in the real world, but you came in here, did the floors. You got a group of guys to work with you and work as a team. Have men coalesce around a common goal. They're not even getting paid, by the way. Let's say that. Can you talk a little bit about what it is in prison that not only kind of gave you that ability, but gave you the desire to come in and do that? I mean, why not just go lay down and let somebody else do it?
Right. It's very, to me, what's important is character. Your character sticks out. I can remember a guy from the way he walks around the prison, his activities, the way he's doing. And that's how I was able to choose the guys to do the floor. Their character. I've been watching these guys just like guys watch me. Not nobody running around boastful, loud, and all these. These guys are low-key guys, respectable guys. And I'm like, hey man, I need some help with these floors. Now I can buff, I can wax, I can strip floors, but I'm not a painter.
Right.
And I told them I'm not a painter, but hey, I just need y'all to work with me, man, so we can get these floors done. And these guys were like, whatever you need, Henry, we
Let's
got
go.
you. And I'm like, man, that was easy.
And it was. And it was like, it felt like we were slamming every appendage in the door. And then once we kind of got there, it was like it broke loose. Yeah. But what I hear in that, and that comes with being 58, is so much with the guys that you were working with, there was so much humility because it was just everybody was feeling that thing. Help is not the help that you want to offer. Help is the help needed.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's what all three of you guys did. Mm-hmm. You saw that I came in here tired. Mm-hmm. I was trying to do something. I was at capacity, and I needed leaders to step up and say, hey, I don't know what his vision is. I don't know everything that's happening here, but I can do this.
Yes.
And you all take that yoke. And to me, that's the ultimate exhibit of leadership in action. And like after spending time in prison, people in the real world, like if people want to know, are you ready to go back to the community? I would invite them to come spend the last 4 days with us. We had a storyteller from our Daily Bread in here talk. No one would say that you guys aren't ready. You would be an asset in the community numerous fold because of exactly what it is that made 30 guys able to do this in 4 days. There is nowhere in the world where 30 people who are not painters do this for free in the real world. It does not happen. This is probably with material. This is about $60,000 worth of paint in the real world with material.
Wow.
We did that with no skilled labor in 4 days. And I mean, look around. Look at how the gloss reflects. Like it's a professional coating. If you get up close, you're going to see, well, I mean, there's still stuff to do. But the point is that we didn't turn 30 guys loose with 30 rollers in here and get 30 finishes.
Right.
It took a team collective effort to make everything gloss white and to make it the same here as it is there.
Correct.
And I mean, we had some.
And we had to get to that boiling point first, didn't we?
You
have to.
You have.
And
or you're never going to come together.
Conflict,
right?
Yeah, that's what
as
you need.
long as everything is kind of right, it can't be wrong.
Right.
And so we had to walk into the things exploding, the paint running down the doors to say, this is the spot that's not done right.
Yeah.
And here's what, right? So we walk around and we give the clarity. We're talking about how you build a gloss, how you do this. And it applied to the floor, it applied to the trim, but it was leadership in action in just such an awesome way. And that's what we were saying in the story, in the time of it was, it's, I mean, you just can't get that in the real world.
That's right.
And I somehow had the clairvoyancy. Honestly, it's a little arrogant, but I knew it. I knew you all would come around it. I didn't know I was going to have to part some of the difficulties, but there was a coalescing, and that happens here. It doesn't happen in the real world.
I think that's because when you came in, everybody just assumed, well, Bo was a professional, so it's on Bo. And Bo was like, hey, no.
This is on you.
I brought you the stuff.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Right.
Y'all, now you got to do it.
Yeah.
And so we had to come together and figure out, okay,
how
do we do it the way he you're saying it should look like this. So we got to figure out how we do it to make it look like that, and not just like you said, throwing 30 different friggin' rollers at the wall.
But also, if y'all remember from group, Craig Rochelle talking about Dunning-Kruger, where he says the more confident, the less competent.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We had it, and you deal with that in life all the
Yes.
time. But first, you have to come in and get rid of that confidence.
Oh yeah.
Because what I'll say about the three guys at the table with me, they weren't in the top 10 of people who were in my face in the first 5 minutes wanting to let me know what they could do.
Yes.
And like you said, people want to grab the tool
Yeah.
before, and they want to tell you all about how they know how to use it before they even say, hey, what do you want me to do with this? Or, hey, I haven't been in the real world in 10, 20, 30 years. Maybe things have changed. Anything I should know about this paint? Yeah, it's going to run really easy because it's shiny. Well, we'll figure that out the hard way. You know what I mean? But two, what happened? What happened when the bad things happened? What happened when the stuff gets taken off and needs repair? Everybody stepped in. You know,
I find one couple things that I find interesting is like I had to step back, and I spent like a half of a day being a gopher, right? And guys are looking at me like, okay, you're one of the leaders, right? What are you doing? I'm getting guys sandpaper. I'm cleaning brushes. I'm rinsing out rags. I'm getting guys water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm looking at it. So somebody asked me, they like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm getting a guy some water. They like, why? If he's up on the ladder,
he's probably thirsty.
Probably thirsty. And if he get off the ladder, that's 5 minutes of time, right? I give him some water. He's good. He's happy. Who else needs some water? Right. Guys are like, I need some water. I need some water. Listen,
and it's needed.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was needed.
Yeah,
and I had no problem with it. And also lifting up other leaders too, right? One of the good painter guys, right? I know he's a good painter, but he just showed up after a day or so. And I'm like, dude, what's up? So he's like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. You know something? This guy, you know, he was good at what he did. And Tiny, look, check this out. You're in charge of the touch-ups. Well, what you mean? How many people do you need? And if they don't do what you need them to do, we can replace them.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead. I'll lead. You just tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that just lifts people up.
We had a situation. We getting the water up off the floor. And so I got the crew already doing what they're supposed to do. So Bo goes over there and grabs the squeegee, tell them, no, y'all do it this way. I'm like, hey,
you ain't on the crew.
You ain't even on the crew. I said, you ain't even on the squeegee crew, Bo. What are you doing? They know what they're supposed to do. So put the squeegee down and go back to your area.
Kick right out the door. Go.
And he said, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong.
We'll find something else to go
He
do.
said that squeegee down the left. But I'm like, you ain't even on our crew, man. You know, that was
so
good.
much growth, right? But can you is there a world where this happens without friction? Is there a world where we get this done in 4 days without friction?
No. It's too big of a task. Too many people, period. Like 30 different people. We're going to have 30 different
because you had people on top of each other.
Yeah.
But
we had to learn
need that.
We had to learn, hey, man, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
They got to get this done first before you keep on doing what you're doing. We had to really sit down and stop after we had that talk so everybody can get in their lane because we was on top of each other.
Well, and you got guys in the background, cool with being in the background, but that actually know what they're doing.
Wow.
And if we didn't come to that point, they wouldn't have been like, well,
man, I know how to do
well, I actually used to do that.
Got to call out the
but they don't want to be a part of the, like, this conflict. I'm cool, I'll just do this.
Well, and it is conflict, but not to the person who's being loud and just the bluster. They don't see it as conflict. They just see it as me being me, but you're all up in the way.
Yeah.
And like that is the growth. I mean, think of that though. Think of if conflict is if conflict is required for growth, how do you do that in a maximum security prison? How come we had razor knives? We had scrap. Maybe I shouldn't even say that. Nobody got stabbed up in here in an argument.
John, take that out.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that what people would think? We had Bloody knives up in here.
Yeah.
We had
All
painters
night.
tools and,
All
and
night.
nobody watching and big slide razor knives could have opened each other up in an argument. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but we get through it.
And they left it
And you
in
know,
our hands.
one
Like,
of the things that
we trust you.
that made that better is the things that we were taught in GLA. Things like emotional intelligence, right? How do I identify how I'm feeling and manage those feelings? Manage those feelings in a responsible way, right? I can take whatever I'm feeling. It can be anger, but I can manage it and let it come out in the right manner to where I'm not hurting JD or I'm not hurting Henry. Actually, I can go over here and I can lift someone up, right? I know that when I get mad, I need to pull one of these guys over. Hey, JD, this is what I'm dealing with or whatever. And he'll be like, hey, man, you go outside and I'll take care of it in the same way. I can see the look on the face. So the things that are taught in GLA through all these various videos, hands down, man, emotional intelligence is my favorite. You know, y'all already know that. That's my thing. And it's like the things that are taught are so simple, but once you learn them and able to apply them in a rational manner in life, it just makes everything so much better. Conflict resolution, all those types. We worked. Y'all, they see the paint. They thinking paintbrushes and sprayers and rollers, right? The mental work, yeah, we put in some work.
Yes.
Conflict is a big part of the story. Like for me, I needed to marginalize the wrong people. I needed the right people to step up. But I also have my own limitations. I can't work magic, and I'm tired and pissed, frankly, right? And so for me in that moment, as you were saying, like, how do I turn this conflict not into a fight? So for me, I got to stop. I got to call out the aggression or the emotion. The emotional intelligent thing for me to do, for me, is to not make the negative emotion go away, because that just drives me down a place that I need to not go. Like I start feeling shame and guilt, and I get angry at myself. So instead, I say, this is not okay. I apologize for it. Please help me move on, or please help me understand how I got here. And so that was my pivot with the group was, hey, I'm frustrated. I'm aware that I'm exhibiting these frustrations, but help me understand this, because I spent time in prison. I know what the opportunity, and Graham brought it to my attention that a lot of guys in the room didn't even comprehend the opportunity that was in front of them, because they couldn't see the end result until they got to it. And so, you know, all of that plays into the question of how do you get growth out of the individual?
But I think one of your times you had to let some of that frustration out, it needed to be heard, because the most important thing you were saying was, hey, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Please stop doing it, because we're wasting supplies, we're making messes, we're creating more work. If you don't know how to do that, hey, don't do that. Go do something you know how to do.
Right.
Because it's just, you know, and that's got to be frustrating for you, who you have professional crews. You do this. What are you guys doing? We have no idea.
But you know,
wipe that up, throw it away.
What I seen in that situation, that you needed that.
Yeah, he had to get that out.
You could tell you was bottling it in. You needed that, and we needed to hear it, and we needed to know how special and how privileged we are to be able to do this type of job. Don't take this for granted. And that was needed, and I think that put a lot of us in perspective, like, hey, man, this is serious, man. We need to really focus on what we're doing, but we mess up $60,000 worth.
Yeah. And don't just do something because, man, I don't want to not be doing something. So I got to do something.
Right.
Well, you're doing the wrong stuff. Don't do that.
Right.
How do I become part of this team?
But you got to be productive if you want to do stuff. You can't just do stuff.
Right.
You said, how do you become a part of this team? This team was built on trust, accountability, right?
That's right.
You know, we see guys moving around here. like Henry said, he knew what guys he wanted for his floor crew, right? He sought them out. We see guys moving around here. Certain guys ask us. I done had a lot of guys ask, hey, man, can I get in on that 2-house thing? Nah, bro, I don't think you go cut it. Where other guys, yeah, man, I'll see if I can get you on the list.
Right.
Because of their walk. I don't care what they say, but their walk. How do I see you walking around here every day? What do I see you doing that's positive? Do I think that I can count on you to come in here and work around these tools?
So I think in prison so much, there's this culture that you keep the peace. Don't go against the norms. Don't go against the status quo. But what we did in here was we made the peace. We didn't keep it because we didn't start as a peaceful group of 30 people knowing what they're doing. But here we are on Tuesday night,
getting close.
4.5 days later. Well, none of us have been asked a question in the last 45 minutes by any of the people that we've been working with. People have found their roles.
Yeah.
I'm confident in you guys starting the next two wings that we're going to do with a different color schemes and different things that we've learned from these two wings, doing another giant paint job like this, all based on donations and different things. Like, I'm not going to be feeling the, man, I got to get there. Yeah. I know you guys are going to be able to do that. But what my point is that doesn't happen unless we make the peace.
That's right.
Unless we wrestle with the difficult conversations that required us to work as a team. But prison, everything against prison is so against that, right? You heard it. I got called out. Man, that's some prison stuff. You can't this, that, the other. Like, I'm not here on prison stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I may be able to get on your level with you guys, but I'm not, the things I'm not doing aren't because I'm abiding by your cultural rules of the institution, right? And you guys didn't in this, right?
Correct.
So I want to point that out, that there's a difference between just going along with the status quo and keeping the peace and making the peace. It required the humility of the leaders to say, okay, I don't know all of that stuff. He was talking about the vents and the doors and the tracks and the showers and the primers and the sanders, but I can get with the floor. But I can make sure that this over here is getting done.
Yeah.
I know these three guys and I know their temperament, and I can go get with them and we can find a way to get this thing done. And that happened. And so you walk through, everything's shiny, everything's pretty. It may be because somebody said, well, the way to do that is to box this off and do this. But it takes the four guys in that place to be able to move forward and do it together and not in a place of friction. Not, no, JD, you got to do it this way. No, Henry, come on, man, put that away. You got to go get this thing over here.
That's right.
But for the first day, that was all we were hearing.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You know?
But you got to be able to take that too. Like they know if I don't agree with what they're saying, no, Henry, that's some bunk. You got to be able to, oh, okay, well, we don't have to agree on everything. We just have to agree to move forward together and get it done right.
Right.
You don't have to agree. I don't have to, we can have a different vision or a different opinion, but we got to do it right. Okay, Bo knows what he's talking about.
Well, and at the end of the day, we turned a tomb into a garden.
Right.
Absolutely. 100%.
We created a space that people can grow in.
Yeah.
Instead of be oppressed in. Environment matters. So I wanted to, this was a kind of a on the fly thing. I'm like, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation about what happened here.
Right.
I whatever it was, it was like a movie. It was like you had your beginning, had your middle, and you had your end, and you had your kind of your friction in the middle, and then you had your coalescing and on the sunset you got everybody kind of coming together. And so I mean, I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this. Right. Whatever role I play, I just couldn't be more honored. I've done paint work with the greatest painters on planet Earth, guys that can do absolutely everything, but it doesn't make me feel the way that coming in here and sharing with you guys and having you like value that, like that's true brotherhood.
That's right.
That's true discipleship in its truest form to me. Like that is something I take home and people sense when I'm telling them, when I explain what I do in my job, they don't. They're like, they can feel the passion coming off of it.
That's
They're
right.
like,
That's right.
you know, we can tell that you know what you're doing and you're confident in the outcomes that you're producing, reason. And I'm like, come see. Like, until you get in here and see what this is and understand what oppression looks like or what deprivation looks like, and then what a letting go looks like. Right? GLA a year ago was a bit of a letting go, but I mean, remember the emotion in the room. People were crying, just understanding if they could even believe that we were going to be given this little bit of ability to have a sense of agency or autonomy over ourselves. And like, here we are a full year where we were basically turned loose for a week in a maximum security prison with whatever tools I'm bringing in, truckloads of stuff. We're just so much trust. Yeah. Morris trusts me, Graham trusts me, the major, the warden trusts us to do this, and we showed up.
Showed up big.
Showed up.
We did.
The results. I mean, you see how many officers come through here and look in the window. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Hey, I hear them talking. They like, man, what they did. I say, yeah, look pretty good.
They did all that?
Imagine they walk in here and they know they couldn't. They don't know how to do it. They're like, inmates did that? How do inmates do this? I don't know how to do that.
And we all learned stuff this week.
But, and then not only that.
Just think about next week. Going to be so much.
Not only that, you have an officer come in here and grab a paint brush yourself and want to help.
Right.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I think this is a good place to wrap up the conversation. I appreciate you guys. We're here 7:00 at night on a Tuesday in Two House at Jefferson City Correctional Center in what will soon be the Honors House here, where there will be furniture, there will be kitchenettes, there will be air fryers, there will be open movement. Guys will be have uncontrolled movement within the housing unit. So just an amazing, amazing thing that's happening here. And the leadership story that we've told here over the last 4 days, as well as the last year, have been amazing. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in, sharing this story with us. You've seen as we've built this story that we have told a lot of our perspectives have come out of JCCC in the first season of the Pull Up Podcast. Because of that, I have to thank the leadership here, Kelly Morris, Major Graham. I want to thank the leadership at Central Office. The access and the ability to come in here and do things like that, and to be with guys who have hundreds of years in prison and the experience around that, and to know that we can provide this good thing that's a benefit, and be the ones that are responsible for that we're not just passive participants in that we are active players in the rehabilitation of not only the people that we're incarcerated with, but the system that we're incarcerated in. That is true empowerment. And, it has just been an absolute honor to continue to implement leadership at JCCC. So thank you guys so much for being part of that.
Appreciate all you done.
And that about wraps it up for this week. So thanks again for joining us. This week's episode was brought to you by our Daily Bread Ministries, helping you experience the life-changing wisdom of the Bible every day. And don't forget about it. We're serious. If you know someone who's a good example of what leadership and positive influence looks like inside of prison, let us know, and we might pull up on you. You can contact us through our Daily Bread Ministries or reach out to me directly, and we will connect with your facility and see if we can set up a visit. Until then, I want to thank this week's guests, and finally, a special thanks to those who work behind the scenes to make this podcast possible. Missouri Department of Corrections, Jefferson City Correctional Center, Warden Kelly Morris, the guys at Jefftown, who, by the way, helped capture this conversation you're hearing on this podcast while serving time themselves, doing some really incredible work inside. And my friends at Golden Eagle Creative, who produce it all. We'll see you right here at the same time in 2 weeks. Oh my.